I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. A dramatic chase and takedown caught on camera. The pursuit stretched more than 40 miles Saturday night, beginning in Atascosa County and ending in San Antonio. They're calling it Operation Longhorn Lockdown, and so far, deputies have made 5 felony theft arrests. Sue Kalberg has more.
It started here in far southern Atascosa County, about 20 miles into the deep country, where deputies say they saw suspects stealing things and gave chase.
He's trying to get away. He's going towards the gate. He's going to run through it.
It started when a pickup pulling a trailer tried to get away.
He's over 100.
10-4 speeds at 100 on 37.
As they raced north, they spiked the tires several times.
Watch the road debris, guys. Watch the road debris.
But they say the suspect kept going.
Tire came off completely. Speeds are about 70 miles an hour.
When a DPS trooper forced the truck to a stop at Loop 410 in South Presa, they say the suspect was captured after a short foot chase.
They think, well, law enforcement might be scarce, and it's not.
They say they're seeing an uptick in suspects from San Antonio who are coming south to commit crimes.
We know what cars fit or what cars belong in the area and what don't. We're out there, while you're at work, we're out there working for you. We're making sure that when you get home, all your stuff is still going to be there.
Yeah, it's way out there.
They're not sure why this one isolated spot is suddenly so hot, but they are watching and recovering stolen property.
Once we had surveillance on the property, we could see every vehicle that went in and out, and we would have deputies there pretty quick when somebody went into the property to make sure we caught them on the way out.
They say they'd love to hear from anybody who may have clues about this spree. Their non-emergency number is 830-769-3434. In Atascosa County, Sue Kalberg, KENS 5.
A man has been arrested accused of threatening to kill San Antonio Mayor Gina Ortiz Jones in a social media post. 24-year-old Marcos Olvera was arrested Tuesday after allegedly posting the threat hours before on X. According to an arrest warrant, in a group chat, members discussed their frustration with the mayor's call to pause plans on building a new sports and entertainment district downtown. Olvera was released from jail after posting a $125,000 bond. He's set to be back in court in November. San Antonio leaders are speaking about President Trump's executive order on homelessness. The order was issued back in July and shifts the focus from housing first solutions to mental health treatment. The president and CEO of Christian Assistance Ministry, who works to support the unhoused population, has expressed concern about the way the executive order is framed. She believes the language appears to criminalize the unhoused community, including individuals dealing with mental health challenges. Other advocates also question whether the federal government will offer enough financial support to meet rising needs.
If we're not able to build the hospital that's needed to assist people with mental illness during commitment, if we're not able to create the housing that is needed in order to hand people off back into the community to thrive, if we're not able to create the medical services that are needed to provide for individuals that are homeless, it's failure.
KENS 5 reached out to the mayor's office for comment on the president's executive order, but they had nothing to say. Following the July 4th floods, Kerrville ISD staff members stepped up to help search and rescue, and their campuses became recovery centers. On Wednesday, the district welcomed students back for their first day of school. Rania Kaur shares their story.
Today, Kerrville ISD has therapy dogs and counselors at every single one of their campuses. This as they help students, families, and staff transition back to normalcy. With green bows on school buses remembering the flood victims, Kerrville ISD is trying to move forward.
We're moving forward to a great school year because that's who we are as a community. We're strong together, and I think that we've proven that due to everything that's happened, everybody has just come together as one.
After the Guadalupe River surged, Kerrville ISD bussed survivors of Camp La Junta, Mystic, and Waldemar to safety. Then they opened their campuses for first responders, volunteer efforts, and donation collection.
We housed about 150 first responders at Tybee High School, and here about 400 at the middle school.
This as the district mourned one of their own, high school teacher of the year and soccer coach Reese Sunker and his family.
We've all experienced tragedy. We all know somebody personally or professionally.
70 families within their district impacted.
We have a number of students who have lost their homes. They've lost every possession. With that, the supports they need, we don't want to change their environment. We want them to have the same friends, be at the same campus.
Every student in the district is also getting free backpacks and school supplies that have been donated.
You know, I'm so grateful we have our first day of school and getting to see our students and really support our community in that sense of resiliency and helping out our community.
On August 29th, which is the district's first home football game, they're having the game in honor of the first responders. For more information on that and how you can support Kerrville ISD this year, you can head to our website, KENS5.com. Just click on this story. In Kerrville, I'm Rania Kaur, KENS 5.
The Spurs are giving back in the Hill Country after the devastating flooding. Nearly 100 Spurs employees traveled to Ingram on Wednesday to volunteer at Mercy Chef's flood relief site. They help prepare and package hot meals to be delivered to residents, first responders, and other volunteers. Spurs coach Mitch Johnson, CEO R.C. Buford, and General Manager Brian Wright later visited with the community in Kerr County and handed out gift cards for food and other needs. It can be costly when college kids head back to campus. And as Jeremy Baker reports, scammers are ready to exploit student spending.
Scammers know that many college students are managing their own money for the first time, which makes them much more vulnerable to deception coming in many forms, starting with fake credit cards with enticing offers.
It's unchecked many times. If you're not really intimate, and this will create some problems in the future.
Also, too good to be true apartment listings wanting a credit card to snag a spot, and ID theft.
ID theft is messy. It takes at minimum 2 to 3 years to clean up an ID theft spill, and it's heartbreaking.
Families across the country are expected to spend an average of $1,325 on back-to-school college shopping. That totals a record $88.8 billion nationwide, and with the average student receiving just over half of the cost of typical college tuition at $16,000 plus, students often turn to credit cards to make ends meet, and they often don't read the fine print.
If you're not really sure about the terms, the long-term effects, the fees that are attached to it, which can be deceptive many times.
Then there's scholarship and grant scams where you give too much personal info.
If it's a grant, it's going to be a free option for you. If it's a scholarship, it should come from a legitimate company or other institution.
Last but not least, test preparation scams where you get blackmailed for money and the scammers threaten expulsion if it's not paid.
Instead, it turns into a legitimate, we're going to sell you information from other tests. It's a cheating scandal in so few words.
If you think you've been duped by any type of scam, the Better Business Bureau says to make sure you report it to their scam tracker. We have a link with this story on KENS5.com. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
And that's the news in San Antonio.